that one day you will wake up and God will tell you what you should be. Because most of us, we will take a vision that's not for us because of the amount of time we invested in it. When you have a vision, it is placed in your spirit by God. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. I am all month, as long as God puts breath in my body, this month, I'm going to be speaking to people who have a vision or wanting to leverage a knowledge, or you want to scale in business. I'm starting the year off with vision because if the devil can have you go spiritually blind, you'll never end up at destiny. Helen Keller said you can have sight and no vision. So I'm not talking about optical. I'm talking about that thing that God's getting ready to reveal inside of you. And you're going to wake up and be like, I finally know why I am here. Now, the book of Proverbs is a book about what? Wisdom. Solomon is the author. And what was his prayer to the Lord? Lord, give me wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And in Proverbs 29, verse 18, it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. This is very, very important. And the Lord answered, and he said, write the vision and make it plain. Why? So that those who will read it will be able to do what? Run with it. For the vision is what? For an appointed time. That means you don't have forever. Did you know that vision has an expiration date? Sometime quicker than milk. Sometime as long as a can good, but you don't know. So you got to work it while you got it. But at the end, it's going to speak to you. It ain't but one person that has access to your spirit like that that's authorized, and that's the Holy Ghost. So you're going to have to hear God's voice and you're going to have to know it. Like, anybody got children? If you're in a crowded room and your daughter says, mama, if that baby say mama, will you know it's your child? And when it speaks, it will not lie. And even though it's been taken a while, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Make up your mind. Will it tarry? Or depends on how you wait. If you wait wrong, it won't come. If you wait correctly, they that wait on the Lord. There's a story about a man who enrolled into the University of Southern California, USC, 3 times. And all 3 times he was denied entry into the School of Film, Television, and Arts. He was rejected 3 times. Now, how many people in the room, if somebody tell you no 3 times, you're just going to say, well, that must be a sign from God. But he did not quit. The 4th time, he went and applied to Long Beach State. Long Beach State accepted him into the School of Television and Film. And from there, he went on to produce movies. Jaws, Saving Private Ryan, The Color Purple. His name is Steven Spielberg. And now he sits on the board of USC and donates $1 million a year to USC because if you never give up on your dreams, one day you will finance the people who rejected you. I had teachers who thought there was no way in the world that I was going to ever amount to anything. I never will forget when I was in the 9th grade, I was dating a girl who would later on be the valedictorian of our high school. I walked in my Spanish class and the Spanish teacher said to her, she said, you dating him? She said, you way too smart to be dating him. And I know why she said it because I deserve what she said. But I remember seeing her after that. And she said to me, I never thought that you would become who you are. There are people from where I'm from right now, when they find out I'm a pastor, they say, what? Because you have to understand that you don't always become the original package. It does not yet appear that you're going to come out the way you're going to come out. You don't even know what God has really, really put down inside of you. One author says this, Guy Robinson says, many people survive the event. What kills them is the experience. One thing I can tell you, everybody here survived something. But even though they're in the room right now, their mind is at the crime scene. So even though they survived the event, the experience killed them. The truth is, your hands are not bound. Your feet are not bound. You are not shackled. You can go anywhere you want to go. But the problem is everywhere you go, there you are. So when you bring your mind to the situation, God sends you to a new city, but you think like the old city. God gives you a new relationship, but you're still protecting yourself from the one you're out of. I came today to talk to people who will transform sight for vision. You can have a vision with your eyes closed. You can have a vision with no money. You can have a vision confused. Anybody got like a vision board? You got a house up there. You got a car up there. You got some famous actor up there. All of that is fine, but that ain't the kind of vision I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the kind of vision that comes from God, that is the result of prophetic revelation, that one day you will wake up and God will tell you what you should be. And you don't have to work in that field because you went to school for 6 years and 7 years and you got a degree in that area and you feel good because you got a degree and people get to call you Mr. and Sir and boss and all that. Some of y'all gonna have to start from the bottom and work your way to the top. By the time God finishes with you, even the people who raised you will be shocked at the results that God is getting ready to do through you. God's gonna do something with people who finished college when they was finished. And it ain't gonna matter because God says the gift that I gave you is spiritual. And it is not necessarily educational. Watch this, because you can't know what God's about to do next. So God says, I kept the vision a secret, and then I let the suffering be evident so that you can get through the suffering and recognize that I was teaching you in the school of hard knocks, not in City Gas, not in Hastings, not when you went to LSU, not when you went to Texas State. I was teaching you when you were waking up in the morning. I was teaching you when you were in divorce court. I was teaching you when you were in the line trying to get food stamps. And I speak prophetically to you that you would not be embarrassed of your past. Dr. Seuss was rejected by 27 publishers before the 28th one took his book and he sold 6 million copies. Who am I talking to in here today? How many of y'all knew that Apple tried to build a car? Apple tried to build a car and they spent 10 years and $10 billion on trying to build this car, and they didn't. It's not because the car didn't work. It's because they woke up and said it doesn't fit with our vision. Because most of us, we will take a vision that's not for us because of the amount of time we invested in it. And then the thing that you're not supposed to be doing, that you are doing because you invested time in it, it will take the rest of the time of your life away because now you are in an endeavor that was an ambition and not a vision. Touch somebody and say, if it ain't from God, I don't want it. This is not the kind of vision that you can just put in your mind and remember it. When God speaks to you tonight at 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't care if you got to get up at 6. Get up and write it down. I can't tell you how many times God spoke to me in the middle of the night, and I said, I'm just going to remember it when I get up. And then I get up and be like, God, what was you saying to me? God says it was for an appointed time, and I wanted to see if you would lose sleep to gain vision. I don't know who I'm talking to in here today, but when you're in the vision stage, 2 hours of sleep feels like 8 hours of sleep. And when you're out of your purpose, 8 hours feels like you got none at all. That's why you keep waking up after 8 hours of sleep tired, because you're about to go and invest 8 hours in something that's not your vision. I have been given a gift. I have been given a vision. And in 2025, I'm going to finally scratch the surface and find out what's underneath here. I'm a diamond in the rough. I might not be shining yet. I may not have facets yet. I may not have clarity yet, but I'm a diamond in the rough. And God says, I have you under pressure over time because I am about to give you clarity. Pressure. When you have a vision, it is placed in your spirit by God. And I want to talk to people who in 2025 will do like Jake and say, I will not let you go until you bless me.